Welcome, everybody. I'm Josh Powell.
And I'm Stephen King.
And this is our first ever podcast.
Yes, exciting.
Dude, we're going to talk about some things. We're going to make fun of some people. And if you like that sort of thing, stick around because this is for you, man.
Yes, it is.
How's everything been going with you? Good?
Good. I've just been getting into this Jake Paul fight. Oh, my God.
That guy is out of his mind to think he can fight Mike Tyson, bro.
I'm hoping that Mike Tyson not only just destroys him, but after he gives him a hug, just bites his ear off at the end, just for good measure.
There's probably a 99% chance he will bite his ear off, dude.
He said there's a 99% chance. They just told him not to put in the contract.
You know what else, too? I think Mike Tyson will probably punch his fist through Jake Paul's face, man.
I hope so. Maybe he skirts him on the top of his head and takes off the rest of the hair that's just hanging on right there.
The rest of his receding hairline. Dude, what are the chances though that this is a real fight?
None.
No.
Not. I don't think Jake Paul would do that.
I mean, he is. Well, I wouldn't say he's crazy, but he is stupid, so he might.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's stupid, but I think the only way that if this was a real fight, the only way Jake Paul would do it is if Mike had to take mushrooms 2 hours before the fight and then go into the ring with him and see what happens.
Well, he might actually not just bite his ear off, but actually eat it and ingest it as well.
Him.
Yeah. If he, Mike, can you imagine Mike Tyson on psychedelics?
Oh my God.
On psychedelic?
Dude, I would not give him any unless I chained him up first. I would we have to
it's like a werewolf on the full moon.
Oh, motherfucker.
don't let him up. Whoa, back away from the cage. You know what I mean?
He's coming down, everybody. He's coming down.
That's why he probably smokes so much weed. You know, I mean, he smokes tons of weed.
He would have to.
He probably does that because if he did psychedelics or alcohol, he'd just be a killer, dude.
I think back in the day, right? When he would just
when he was beating up Gibbons.
the gang leader guy.
What was her name? Robin Gibbons? That guy was a monster.
No, it's crazy.
He does seem to have calmed down quite a bit when he's gotten older nowadays, man. You see him on videos and podcasts, and he's got his own podcast. And he seems pretty chill. I would love to hang out with Mike Tyson.
For spurts, right? I think after 3 or 4 hours, I would just be like, man, I can't take you no more, man. You're not saying anything the right way. You got to live your life as a crazy person with no real repercussions, coming out on top, fighting Jake Paul for fake.
Yeah.
For fake.
You know what I'd be scared of hanging out with Mike Tyson, dude, is accidentally saying the wrong thing. Because I run my mouth a lot, you know what I mean? I would joke with him one too many times, and then I'd probably die.
Well, you see him on TV, and he's like, the hosts are afraid, and they're on TV. Could you imagine just in an intimate setting with him and his tiger? Say the wrong thing.
Him and his tiger. First of all, I would never be in an intimate setting. You phrased that all wrong, bro.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you saw what he did to Robin Gibbons, right?
Listen,
we don't want to get intimate with Mike Tyson.
I would have just said yes if I was her.
But he has his own weed line, and I think that keeps him calm.
Yep.
Keeps him even keel. You know? So I think he's okay to be around.
Have you seen him throw his punches yet?
I have. I watched some videos of him training, and honest to God, he still looks like he can punch a fucking brick wall down.
Scary, dude. There's just something about the way that he just when he hits you, just I don't even know. Is Paul taller than Tyson?
Well, everybody's taller than Mike Tyson. I think I'm even taller than Mike Tyson, and I'm 4'6".
That's so funny. I just let him get in there, man. Just let him get in there. I'm really hoping for some damage.
Yeah, I think the contract is one thing, but I mean, as crazy as Mike can get, though, I mean, I'm sure they have a contract in place saying, "Hey, pull your punches. Don't kill me.
Please don't kill me."
I'm sure that's what's written in the contract. Mike Tyson, please don't kill me. You know what I mean? But Mike Tyson probably, as soon as Jake Paul lets one slip and catches him on the chin, he's going to get pissed off and just rip his head off.
What if he accidentally, it angers him, right? And Mike's just uh-oh, and just then he goes fighting, starts beating up his brother.
You just fucked up.
Beautiful. Oh, God. He just runs out
fighting his brother. Someone give Mike a joint. Calm him down.
Oh, it's so funny.
Speaking of joints, dude, they legalized weed in Michigan a while back.
I've been well aware. I'm very, very excited, man.
Dude, I thought it was a brilliant idea, man, right? Because I mean, everyone was still smoking weed when it was illegal.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many states have done it? I'd have to look it up, dude, but there's probably 20
I mean, a fair
states
amount.
or so.
It's to the point where I go to another state and weed isn't legal. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
You mean there aren't 25 people smoking weed on the street?
Whose grandpa senator blocked this from happening?
I was looking forward to my contact high walking into the store. You know what I mean?
I went down to Florida. It wasn't weed legal in Florida. I think it might be now.
It's not?
It might be now, but maybe a couple of years ago it wasn't. And that was the biggest surprise of the world. I'm like, wait a minute. Weed's not legal in Florida?
Florida should be legal, bro. All that glaucoma down there. They should be smoking weed at the beach.
Weed bullets.
Have you been to a weed store yet?
I have been. The first few times you go in, it's amazing, right? Because you see all these things that like,
and it probably smells great.
It smells okay. It smells like weed was here, not like fresh weed, right?
It smells like a weed ashtray.
Yeah. Like I used to store weed here, like a lot of it a couple months ago. It's not here anymore, but the room still smells like weed. Like you'd think it smelled like just fresh, but they have so many different like products that like you're smelling all sorts of things. So it's not just like weed out. Like you go in there and you see a whole bunch of like
smelling wax
and things that you only saw if like your best friend was a physicist or some shit like that, where he's just like, I freeze dried this like weed shavings and then I put some alcohol on it and I let it like evaporate for 4 days and then I hung it outside and I took all the trichlomes off and now I roll it into a ball. Now we're
calling it the tarantula.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay.
What's that movie, bro? It reminds me of that movie where he's like, give me an avocado, a snorkel, and a screwdriver. I made bongs from less.
Oh, yeah.
What movie was that?
It wasn't Pineapple Express,
It
was
might have been Pineapple Express. If you guys know out there, leave a comment.
Yeah,
let us know. I can't think. I know the movie. I can see the scene in my head, but I can't think of what the hell.
Yeah, because he says like he doesn't have any other thing. And he's like, all right, then get me this, this, and this.
So did you go see a bud tender, dude?
Oh, my God.
That's a funny name, dude. The first time I heard that, I'm like, what the fuck? What did you say, butt tender?
Dude.
I went somewhere else with it completely.
Well, they want you to because like typically it's either somebody who looks horrendous or the hottest person you ever seen in your entire life. It's just like a split right half in the middle. And then you're like, all right, well, tell me about this. And knowledgeable.
They know everything.
They know
because they've been smoking weed since they were born.
They've been waiting for this job.
They popped out of the vagina with a bowl and shit,
They've just been like, as soon as weed was going around, they were like, oh man, I can finally get a job, bro.
I can finally move out of my mom's basement.
Mom, you said I wasn't going to amount to nothing, bro.
All that weed smoking's paying off.
And that store, those stores are always so busy. And every time you go in there, you're dropping $100 easy.
Oh, I bet.
I go, So what are you guys smoking right now? And the bud tender always goes off to the end and lays down like this tube that's like as big as our
pulls a secret stash from around behind the counter.
This is what I'm smoking right now, all right? It has a glass granite titanium tip, right? And it's 4 grams of flour, 3 grams of keef. There's a little worm in there in the middle. The worm was raised in a bed of marijuana. Then we killed it and put it in there. It's diamond encrusted, And it's what I've been smoking all the time. How much is one of these joints? $200. The fuck? You're smoking that out of my mind.
He's making $14 an hour. He's not smoking that
It took me 3 trips before I realized that, oh my God, they're just salespeople. You think they're just trying to help because they're weed and it's a community. No, they are trying. I'm like, you're not smoking. I'm like, what are you actually smoking?
In all fairness, dude, he might be smoking that good. He probably doesn't even get paid. He just works for weed. You know those guys on the side will work for food?
Yes.
That's them, dude. Will work for weed,
How many... And then those people who own the stores, I wonder how many back deal like doors are like that. Like, look, man, I can't pay you, but look, you're going to spend at least $300 on weed of your income anyway.
I'll give you $400 for $300.
Yep. 100%.
And you work for all week.
100%. That's hello, man. That's
dude, I need an editor. If anybody out there knows video editing, bro, and will work for weed, call me up. You
have a store around here somewhere?
Call me up, bro. I'll buy the weed and just give it to them. Way cheaper that way. I'll grow it myself. It's way easier.
The extremes we used to have to go through to get that stuff.
Bro, I remember sitting in the ghetto in my car just waiting on this. You said you were going to meet me at 3 o'clock, bro. Oh, I'm right around the corner. And then like 3 hours later, you call him back. And then he's acting back. Why do you keep calling me, man? I told you I was on my way, you know?
Dude, every deal was like a hangout for them.
Yeah.
Like, it was the coolest person around. His name was Tank or some shit like that.
Tank? Well, you probably dealt in different crowds than I did. I never dealt with Tank. You know?
Yes,
I was
Tank.
dealing with Tank's older brother, AK.
Tank was around the trailer parks just hashing that seedy weed.
Oh.
I used to remember smelling seeds from when my parents smoked weed,
Really?
like, in the house. And like, I'd be like, dude, that smells so bad. And then now I talk to my mom and she's like, there aren't seeds in weed anymore?
What?
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, you got to go
Now
to the
you got to
store.
buy seeds.
I know, like, seeds are more expensive than the weed itself.
Dude, there is businesses selling only seeds.
Yes.
It's crazy. And it's legal to ship them. You can buy them from like Amsterdam and have them shipped over to you. How crazy. You can't buy weed in certain states, but you can federally import the seeds to grow it
You
yourself.
just can't plant them.
Can you import like poppy seeds and shit? Well, I mean, not, of course, poppy seeds on buns, but like I'm talking about like the opium poppy seeds and
Poppy seeds. I
start
don't-
making my own cocaine and meth.
Imagine?
You know?
I don't think, not yet. We're progressive.
Probably in Oregon, you know, Seattle or
Right
Washington.
in
Yeah.
the what's that, the redacted zone or whatever, the
Whatever it
autonomous
is.
zone.
Yeah, well, is that what they call it
Yeah,
these
the
days?
autonomous
Those
zone.
kids,
I know those crazy kids just starting their own city.
tent, hey, bro. Man, we were sitting around shooting up, bro. We should start a tent city, bro.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'll do it in like 17 hours, man.
After I wake
They
up,
took
bro.
over. They took over like a zombie apocalypse. I couldn't imagine if I was just sitting at my house, just chilling
And
there.
the city just lets them do it, bro.
Just go ahead. I'm too afraid. Like, go ahead. Like, we don't want to target. Like, you sure?
Meanwhile, you get fucking one guy breaks into a store and they got SWAT team over here. You know what I mean? Out there in Seattle, they take over an entire block of a city, put up tents, call it their home.
They give them rations.
They feed them.
Have some water jugs. Please stop. Trump's over there throwing paper towels at them.
No, Trump's throwing grenades at him. That's Biden throwing paper towels at him. Biden's like, here, guys, have some ham. You
Come on,
know?
man. Vote for me, man. Come on. Come on.
If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's what he said. And the little fake kid with dreads, Rastafarian's like, dude, I'm not black, bro.
Dude, I can't imagine just having the gall to say that. Just
On TV when you're running for president. You know what I mean?
I guess the only thing I can say about that is if your running mate says crazier stuff, it's okay to get away with it. Like, how do you Trump?
Well, I mean, it's either that or Biden's literally out of his mind, I think.
Oh, I mean, they're both out of their minds in different stages of like their dementia, right? Like Biden's like out of his mind, like he doesn't even know what's going on. Trump's at the part where he thinks everything he thinks is correct. I think he's always been that way, but now there's like no caution to the wind. Imagine being sued over and over for hundreds of millions of dollars while running for president.
Imagine just having hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. Let's just imagine that.
Let's have that.
You know what I'm
Let's have
saying?
that problem first.
Because if I have hundreds of millions, I'll deal with the lawsuits after the fact.
Yes,
you know?
100%. Like, what's the worst case scenario? The $3 million that I buried in my backyard. I got to live off that for the rest of my life.
Man, how am I going to live? You know what I mean? And even if he has to give away all of his assets from lawsuits, he's got fucking shit probably in the Caymans. He's probably got shit overseas. He just moved to some Guantanamo Bay or something and lived there for the rest of his life. He probably just buy it.
He probably has properties that are right now outright in other countries where he would just go and. I would, but no, he'd rather fight to become president, and because he really cares. No,
I mean, listen, man, I'm government's a subject I didn't really want to get into on here because I know I brought it up, and that's my bad, dude. But honestly, like the whole direction of our government, left, right, conservative, liberal, they can all suck a dick, bro. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I feel like government in general is too powerful and too much in people's lives, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And you can buy that for $1. You know what I'm saying? Take that to the bank, Jack.
It's so funny. This started with weed stores.
How did we go from weed to government fucking corruption?
They're the ones who said it was okay, and then we gotta like immediately makes that connection in our brain, and we're like, oh my god, thank you so much.
Oh, we talked about Seattle. That's how it was, because they're allowing them crazy bastards to take over a city.
I haven't even been to Seattle before.
All I know about Seattle is it rains, and they got homeless and drugs.
Vampires that sparkle.
They got vampires that sparkle?
That's Twilight. That's
Wait, I want to see some vampires that sparkle.
Yeah, so these vampires, they're interesting.
Are you talking about a movie or real life?
Yes, it's a Twilight series.
Are there real vampires,
like,
bro?
Are we talking? No, I mean, I wish I was talking real vampires.
What are we talking here?
If there are real vampires, the real vampires that exist are probably the ones that are like in 30 Days a Night. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, I think, is that the one where they're in Alaska or some shit inside the Arctic Circle and it's dark for like the whole time? Mm-hmm. I have seen it.
That's real, but no, these Twilight vampires.
That's the real
those are real vampires, right? These Twilight vampires, no, they
breaking news.
When they go outside, they don't like die or anything or burn. They just sparkle. Like they just, there's like
can everybody see them sparkle?
Yeah,
or do you have
everybody. No, everybody. That's why they hang out in Seattle because it's not. There's no sun.
Because it's always hazy.
So
and shit.
you don't see the glitter monsters coming after you, dude. Listen, do yourself a favor. If there's one thing, if you want to understand Twilight, there's one thing you got to watch. It's like the end of like the second movie or something. There's like this big vampire fight. Right? There's vampires, and they're friends with werewolves or some shit like that. They're just I don't know, whatever. And they all just get into this big field and start ripping off each other's heads.
Well, that's kind of cool.
There's no blood.
I can get behind that.
There's no blood. They just
wait. Vampires. I wonder if vampires bleed.
How do you?
I mean, why do they have to drink blood? You know,
where does it go?
How does that sustain them? I don't know. And is their pee red?
At least orange, right? Even if you take some of the minerals out of it and like decolor it.
Kind of like me after a night of drinking.
I can imagine how orange your body expels things.
Bro. Except for this time of year, you know, late March, and it's usually green. From the green beer.
Did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
I did, because it was on a Sunday this year, man, and we celebrated on a Saturday, but it was pretty mild. I mean, we only drank like 4/5. We didn't do our usual keg.
It's so funny.
Dude, how about this fucking snow that we just got? It's actually springtime here.
It's
we got 12 feet of snow outside, dude, and baseball's getting ready to start.
As you say here, let's understand where here is, because I'm like an hour south, no snow.
You have zero snow.
Zero snow. Haven't seen. I mean, it's been cold as hell. Don't get me wrong, but I've been seeing cars driving around with snow on them.
And you're like, where do they come from?
Where my wife and I sit there and talked about it for like a half a day. Like, is it on the island? Is it slake effect snow? What's going on? I'm driving up here. I'm like, it's a different world.
Dude, meanwhile, I'm building an igloo in the front yard over here.
Inches of snow.
We got almost a foot of snow out here, bro, and you're an hour away.
Well, my saying is, until opening day, don't trust Michigan. Right? Because here's what's going to happen. It's going to be nice the week coming up, right? It's going to be nice the week coming up, and then opening day's going to start, and that day is going to suck. Because
when is opening day?
April 4th.
April 4th.
I know that because I've been just running my mouth about how that's going to be like a terrible shit weather day.
And people are like, shut your mouth.
Yeah, so I'm really trying to keep these receipts.
They get fired up around here in Detroit for opening day, don't they?
They love it's like they love baseball for some reason. I hate baseball.
Me too, man.
I cannot stand baseball. I just smash the shit out of my microphone. I can't, like, okay, 162 games to determine something is absolutely insane.
Too many, bro.
If you can play 162 anything within a time span of 4 months, it's too easy.
It just basically just becomes like an endurance race at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who can keep interested long enough? You wonder why baseball has all these routines and traditions, because they have nothing to do for people.
They literally stand around.
Shave their faces in between innings. Like, it's the craziest thing I've ever.
It's the only sport where you can be fucking grossly overweight and still be good at.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, no, there's other sports, but
Well,
I
when
guess.
you say grossly overweight, it's not total weight, right? It's like, because like if you're thinking like offensive linemen, they're not grossly overweight. They're
Well,
like,
motherfucker's so fat they need a pinch runner. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, listen, I'm gonna hit this.
they mean like,
but Jose, I need you to run for me, bro.
listen, I'm going to ask you to play once every 15 minutes. You do one thing, and then I'm going to have somebody else take care of the rest for you. Designated hitter, a designated hitter,
bro.
That's like, and they make the most, and it's just the most crazy thing to me.
But like designated, so I don't follow baseball, but I picture designated like fucking Martinez, because I'm sure there's always a Martinez on the team, right?
Yes, there is.
Every team has a Martinez. It's not like the days of Jose Canseco that I heard. Every team has a Victor Martinez or fucking some other Martinez. Anyway, Martinez coming up to the plate, and then some other fucking big dude steps in and is like, hold on, bro. I got this. I got this.
It's like some like kid called his older brother over, and they're just like, "Come on, man, knock this one out of the park, Jimmy."
No, let me hit this one. No, back up.
Oh, it's so silly. I'm not a big fan of it. People in Michigan, the team hasn't been good for 20 years, 30 years. I mean, it's kind of like the Lions sort of deal, right?
Like, they're still fired up about it.
It's crazy to me to see, because I've moved around, I came back, so I have no allegiance to the Detroit sports teams. I really have no allegiance to
any sports teams,
any at all, but especially
that's amazing. You look so athletic.
Yes, I'm number one in the fit into a crevice team. Dude, that's what I'm able to do. Slide right in.
You got a trophy for underwater basket weaving and shit. It's a ribbon though, not a trophy.
You don't. Trophies are so hard to get nowadays. Trophies are so. Do they even give out trophies?
I heard they give everybody trophies these days.
I don't know. I had a daughter who didn't play sports, so I never got into that. But her music thing, yeah, she got a little. Everybody got a little trophy.
Yeah, everybody.
What was that for? Being here.
It was participating.
Thank you.
Know? Thanks.
It's pretty crazy.
That's what your $500 went to.
I know, right? Like,
listen, you pay taxes for the school. That's what both my kids played sports, dude, and band and whatever the fuck else they did. But you pay the schools and your taxes every year, and the taxes are high.
They're not low.
They're not fucking low. So you pay the school and your taxes. Then they're like, oh, we misappropriated all of our money. So if your kid wants sport, if your kid wants to play football, you need to give us another $400.
Yeah.
You know? Yes. Well, what's that go to? You guys already have uniforms. You already have pads. You know, the coaches are already on the payroll.
Like they're not even getting paid extra for
what is the extra for? Oh, you know, this and that, you know, trophies and so forth. But what do they do with it, dude? I used to irritate me so. And then after you pay that money, each kid on the team pays money. Their parents pay money to play. First week, you know, they hand them out these packets, and they're like, hey, sell this shit to your family. Yeah. Sell this shit to your family because we got to raise more money,
and
dude.
they're like stupid things to sell too. Like, why just once have a kid come up to me and be like, I'm selling Red Bull for my Boy Scout team. I'm like, get in here. Dude, what?
Now that Weasley will be like, bro, I'm selling pre-rolls, man.
Right?
How many pre-rolls you want?
As long as an adult's with them, right? Just helping them sell it.
Right. Well, they could just sell vouchers. You got to go pick it up from the store. What's wrong with that?
Isn't there there's Thin Mints weed right now? Why not make that Thin Mints collaboration with the Girl Scouts of America?
Them Girl Scouts would sell so many.
They could stop standing out in parking lots with boxes around them, jumping up and down. That'd be nice.
The last 2 months have been nothing but Girl Scouts. At every store, I go into Walmart. Bro, I've got to karate kick them. Get the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm saying? They won't even let me in the store unless I buy a box of Girl Scout cookies.
I run right past them as fast as I can. I'm very rude about that. I'm not very. I don't like to be solicited.
I'm scared of them a little bit. Honestly, when I pull into the store, if there's two entrances, I see which one they're at, and I park on the other side, and I'm like, and then I look at the parking lot, and it's like completely full on the side where the Girl Scouts aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But them little fuckers are crafty, because if you go in the store, you shop for 20 minutes, and you come out the same entrance, they fucking move over there. And now you got to buy some Girl Scout cookies.
I got a table on wheels. Want some cookies? I tell them no. Tell them I can't do it, man. It's just, I don't like that. The person who tries to get the money at Christmas
time. The high pressure sales, bro.
Oh, I don't understand who signs up for jobs like that. Like, I can't imagine just
wait. Does Santa Claus get paid for the Salvation Army?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's a 501c3, right? They're doing donations and shit. If he gets paid, shame on Salvation Army. Hold on, let's talk to the Salvation Army for a second. If you're paying Santa Claus to raise money for you, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Sal, listen, I know all you get are the clothes I don't want and I'll never wear again. But you can't be paying that annoying son of a bitch who's ringing his bell in front of Kroger at me. Also, there are online donations. Like, why do they have that person standing out there, freezing their face off, ringing a bell? Like,
well, because it's easy to ignore an email or an online ad. When you're walking past Santa Claus himself, that jolly fat motherfucker, bro, you can't help but to give him some money.
I just want to push him down.
You know what I mean? And meanwhile, as soon as you give him that money, he's going around the corner drinking his flask and smoking 2 joints and a cigarette.
How do you keep warm in the winter?
Yeah, boy.
Well, it's cool for you because you're on a ski trip, but he's being Santa. He can't have his liquor. That's not fair. He's the most important job. He goes around the whole world in a night, and he can't have a little bit of the hooch.
And he can't have some whiskey every now and then, bro. What movie is that? Is that from a movie?
No.
That's funny shit.
That was all original.
I couldn't believe you made that up yourself. I'm like, what movie is that?
No.
Steve's not that funny. What the fuck?
No, it's just not fair, man. Oh, poor guy. It's just, we get on these people with these high pressure jobs, like for like not being perfect. And I imagine myself like, I keep our house clean 4 days in a row. And at the end of that 4th day, I'm under such pressure that like, I just feel like I just got to do something. Like I got to get out. I got to enjoy myself. I either got to like drink or just go crack up or do something. Right.
Go visit the bud tender.
The bud tender. Like I'm not going on benders. Right. I'm not going crazy or anything like that.
Drunk.
But if I had a high pressure job, like legitimately,
like Santa Claus,
and that one day, the whole world depended on
you, bro.
me.
What if he was sick on Christmas?
And we just don't give anybody any reprieve. Like, give them a little bit. Like, listen, man.
I mean, the tooth fairy doesn't show up half the time. That's the job you want, right? Because you can be like, oh, I'm not working tonight. Fuck it. And the kid just wakes up and he's like, Mom, my tooth's still under the pillow. And she's like, oh, you leave it under there tonight. He'll be working tonight. You know?
People are like, hey, what do you mean? I'll kick that tooth fairy's ass.
But Santa Claus, bro, you can't miss work.
That's so.
You know.
Yes, if I was one of them, I'd like. So is Santa Claus allowed to drink? Tooth Fairy's doing heroin. I mean, that's why they're not showing up every day.
The Tooth Fairy's doing more. The Tooth Fairy lives in Seattle, I think, bro. He doesn't got a tent. He lives in a tree in the middle of the park.
I always think back about, the first guy who was like, all right, I'm going to make up Santa Claus. And I hope that everybody in the world moving forward believes in this shit for the rest of their lives. Or like, did they die before the Santa Claus thing really took on?
Santa Claus wasn't made up, right? Saint Nicholas was a real person.
No,
he was a real fucking person, bro.
Did he give people presents?
I don't know what the fuck he did.
He was a real person?
He was Saint Nicholas, man.
Okay, just because you say Saint in the first of the name doesn't mean...
Saint Nicholas.
Is Saint Stephen a real person?
Is there a Saint?
There is. I know there is. It's my name. I looked it up. Or there's a Stephen in the Bible. I don't know what he does. I don't really mess around with that too much.
There's a Joshua tree.
My name's in a festival?
You know what my name, Josh Powell. So I Googled that before. Mm-hmm. You know what pops up when you Google Josh Powell?
I just wanted to say so many things. We'll let it sit. Hold on a second, everybody.
Let your comments sit. No, there was some asshole named Josh Powell who murdered his wife and children. And now when you try to search my name, all you find is some fucking murderer tarnishing my good name, bro.
I just couldn't imagine if your name was taken by somebody else, like how that'd make you feel. See, my name's Stephen King, so I have no idea how that feels.
It's
right. So let's talk about names here a little bit all of a sudden, all right? Let's talk about your names.
Your name's Stephen King?
I'm sorry when you Google your name, some murderer comes out. When I Google my name, some fucking clown who's not even a real clown murderer comes up.
That's touche, bro. I'm going to give you that one. Your name is way shittier than my name.
My name is associated with Tommy Knockers. It sounds like a Chris Farley joke gone bad. I don't understand. So my...
Dude, when I first met you, well, I didn't even meet you, okay? So, quick story. Steve and I used to work together. And in our place of work, we won't say where we work, but our place of, maybe we will in another episode.
Another episode.
Yeah, another episode, we'll get into that. But not right now, we don't have enough time for that shit, right? Because that's like a whole episode.
Or legal representation.
Or legal. We have to talk to counsel first.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
HR.
But anyway, we worked together. And the type of job we did, we used to see people's names all the time. You didn't even know who they were. You just see their names. And I kept seeing Stephen King. And I'm like, what the fuck? Stephen, you telling me Stephen King works here, bro? You know, so I finally asked a couple people. And you know what's funny? At the time you started, there was another guy who worked for that company, and he resembled Stephen King. He resembled Stephen King.
Like Stephen King.
So there's this one guy who looks like Stephen King, the author, in case you fucking don't know who Stephen King is.
It's as time goes by. Less people like it used to be everywhere I go, right?
Stephen
Oh my
King.
God, your name's Stephen King. Now when I say my name and people don't be like, oh my God, it's Stephen King, I'm so upset.
They don't fucking know.
I acted like I was upset because my name was Stephen King.
Yeah.
And the younger was like, oh my God, I'm my own person. Now
and now you're like, you don't know who I am?
Furious.
Look me up.
Jesus.
Google my name.
The movies are still coming out.
Google my name.
I
To be honest, though, to be fair, dude, all the movies that have been made from Stephen King books have sucked.
What?
With the exception of the Stand series. There was a limited series, and that one was pretty fucking good, but the rest, name one good one that came out, bro.
I'm a fan of it. I was a big fan of that. Hey, Georgie. My fans will know that.
Yeah. All your fans out there.
There's the It remake, stupidest shit you've ever seen in your life. It's so stupid. It's great. But I mean, I don't really know. I mean, the funniest Stephen King movie to watch is called Thinner.
Oh, I've seen it.
Dude,
I've seen it. Where he touches them,
Dude,
and they fucking lose weight until they die.
Cinematography is so stupid.
I mean, you could sell that. Like, imagine if you had that power, right, to just touch somebody and they lose weight until they. Yeah, that was Ozempic.
Yeah, so Thinner now. I think the gypsy word for it is Ozempic. So some gypsy's been walking around just blessing all these celebrities.
That's the gypsy word for it. The English word's Adderall.
I was hoping that I could take some Ozempic and just fucking disappear.
Dude, you probably would disappear. You know what I mean?
Just gobble.
He's like, give me some of that Ozempic.
Oh,
The doctor's like,
man.
oh, for what? he's like, you need a ham sandwich.
Oh, it's so funny. People still know how we met.
Oh, I was telling that story, wasn't I? Anyway, well, I mean, the story was pretty much done. You know what I mean?
Saw my name. Who's that guy?
I kept seeing the name Stephen King, and I kept seeing this guy who looked like Stephen King, so I thought that was you. You know, I even walked up to him. I'm like, aren't you Stephen King? He's like, no, my name's Zach.
Stop being a dick, Josh.
He's like, I get it. It's funny. I look like Stephen King. I'm like, no, there's somebody here that actually has that name.
Yes. No, I'm very, very interested. So and my mom told me I was named after the Bible.
There ain't no Stephen King in the Bible.
There's a Stephen in the Bible, apparently.
She's talking about Stephen King's Carrie book.
I think
she refers to that as the Bible.
She told me they would all laugh at me all the time. She goes, they're all going to laugh at you and stuff like that. I was like, bitch, get out of here. We thought it wasn't funny. I'm like, the lady did that to her daughter and she murdered a room full of people. And she's like, no, it's funny. And then she was like, yeah, I named you out of the Bible. Eventually I learned that my father named me because he wanted to be an author.
Oh, really? So you were actually named after Stephen
him.
King.
Yes.
Well, listen, all jokes aside, I like Stephen King. I like when I used to be a truck driver. Did you know that?
No.
I drove a fucking big rig semi.
Truck.
Yeah. That was when I was real heavy into drugs and shit. It was weird.
that's when to drive a truck.
Yeah,
by the way,
that's the best time to drive a truck. You know?
It sounded like it was so accepted, and like when everybody, everybody's in the druggy phase. They're like, so what's your line of work? Truck.
I drive a truck. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the truck drives me.
The honking was made.
But I used to listen, man. I used to listen to novels while I drove because I can't hate reading. I can't barely fucking read anyway. I'm half retarded. But I hate it. So I used to listen to books on tape. You know what I mean? And when I was driving, it was the best. And I got into Stephen King. I think I listened to every single one of his books, dude. Some of them were like 12 hours long. Dude,
there's some messed up stuff in some of those books. But
so good, dude.
You know, I don't really want to get into that heavy subject right now because it's not cool.
No.
I used to read Stephen King books though, and then get mad at people for saying something about my name and like being Stephen King. I used to invite it. Like it's so stupid, so dumb. Things people do for attention. Back in the day.
Yeah, dude. I think everybody who's reading books is a little loopy, in my opinion. Every time I try to read, I just fall asleep, pass out.
Are the girls in your life reading books right now?
I mean, girls, I'm fucking married, bro. Don't be telling people on camera about my girls, man. I've been married for 17 years.
I met your wife and your daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, my daughter's actually smart, dude. She likes to read. You know, she's in law school and shit.
Yeah, I don't understand those people. I don't get it. Dude, I can't do it. Now that televisions exist,
well,
and I have like unlimited entertainment, like there's no reason to read.
Ever since they turned book into a moving picture,
yes,
books should no longer exist. You know what I mean?
1936 was a bad year for books.
But yeah, there's some weirdos who like to snuggle up with a book. However you snuggle a book, bro, you know what I mean?
I snuggle up with a book. You give yourself paper cuts? What are you talking about?
You got paper cuts all over their dick.
When they got in a fight with like a Wolverine, be like, I had a good night with the book. It was great. The glass of wine.
Yeah, it was actually a bottle of wine.
Yes. You read like what,
the paper
4
cuts.
pages and like you're done. Cool, man.
Well, I think it's about our time, man. I hope everybody out there had fun. I know I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the first one. There'll be a few more. Maybe we'll see. I don't know.
We're going to keep making them if you guys like it. If you did like it, leave a comment. Let us know. Hit that like button, guys, and be sure to subscribe. And man, we'll catch them on the next one.
Thanks for coming by.
Peace.